All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Sunil Verma and with me is Saira Mujtaba. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to dedicate to the nation 2 Ayurveda institutes at Jamnagar and Jaipur today. Prime Minister says, country is moving forward to the goal and resolve of self-reliant India. NDA constituents to meet in Patna today to discuss government formation in Bihar. More than 23 lakh Indians repatriated through different modes under Vande Bharat mission. India Post Payment Bank launches doorstep service to submit digital life certificates for pensioners. And Indian cricket team arrives in Sydney to play 3 T20s, 3 ODIs and 4 tests during their 2-month stay in Australia. As the nation fights COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask. Maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing and focus on hand and face hygiene. Now the news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will dedicate 2 Ayurveda institutions to the nation on the 5th Ayurveda Day today. These are the Institute of Teaching and Research in Ayurveda ITRA Jamnagar and the National Institute of Ayurveda NIA Jaipur. The ITRA Jamnagar, recently created through an Act of Parliament, is poised to emerge as a world-class healthcare institution. Our correspondent reports, potential role of Ayurveda in the management of the COVID-19 pandemic will be the focus of this year's Ayurveda Day observation.
Both the institutes are premier institutions of Ayurveda in the country and are expected to play global leadership roles in the growth and development of Ayurveda in the 21st century. The dedication of these institutes to the nation is a historic step not just in the modernization of Ayurveda education but in the evolution of traditional medicine itself. This will provide them the autonomy to upgrade the standard of Ayurveda education and frame various courses as per emerging national and international demand. Utilizing the immense untapped potential of Ayush systems of healthcare for providing effective and affordable solutions for public health challenges is a priority of the government. With Dipendra Kumar, Suparna Saikia, AIR News, Delhi.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has greeted people on Ayurveda Day. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said, on this special day, he will inaugurate 2 Ayurveda institutes located in Rajasthan and Gujarat. The program will begin at 10:30 a.m. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that the country is now moving forward with the goal and resolve of self-reliant India. He said, the idea of self-reliant India is the collective consciousness of more than 130 crore Indians and has become part of our aspirations. Mr. Modi asserted that the youth of the country are the brand ambassadors of brand India across the world and they represent the culture and traditions of India. The Prime Minister was talking after unveiling the life-size statue of Swami Vivekanand at the campus of Jawaharlal Nehru University in New Delhi via video conferencing. Mr. Modi said, the target for Atmanirbhar Bharat is not limited to physical or material self-reliance. He said, it is dynamic and covers a wide range. Mr. Modi said, a nation becomes self-reliant only when a nation becomes self-reliant in thinking, practices and resources.
जब हम आत्मनिर्भर भारत की बात करते हैं तो लक्ष्य सिर्फ फिजिकल या मटेरियल सेल्फ रिलायंस तक ही सीमित नहीं है। आत्मनिर्भरता का अर्थ भी व्यापक है, दायरा भी व्यापक है, उसमें गहराई भी है, उसमें ऊंचाई भी है। आत्मनिर्भर राष्ट्र तभी बनता है जब संसाधनों के साथ साथ सोच और संस्कारों में भी वो आत्मनिर्भर बने।
Mr. Modi said, one thing that has done harm to the democratic system of our country is giving priority to our ideology over national interest. The Prime Minister said that our ideology should be seen as supporting and not opposing the nation in matters of national interest.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that India believes that a cohesive and responsive ASEAN is important for security and growth for all. Addressing the 17th ASEAN-India Summit through video conference last evening, The Prime Minister said ASEAN has been the core target of India's Act East policy. He said India and ASEAN partnership is interrelated by traditions and geography.
आसियान समूह शुरू से हमारी एक्ट ईस्ट पॉलिसी का मूल केंद्र रहा है. भारत के इंडो पैसिफिक ओशंस इनिशिएटिव और आसियान के आउटलुक ऑन इंडो पैसिफिक के बीच कई समानताएं हैं. हम मानते हैं कि सिक्योरिटी एंड ग्रोथ फॉर ऑल इन द रीजन के लिए एक कोहेसिव एंड रिस्पॉन्सिव आसियान आवश्यक है. भारत और आसियान के बीच हर प्रकार की कनेक्टिविटी को बढ़ाना, फिजिकल, आर्थिक, सामाजिक, डिजिटल, फाइनेंशियल, मैरीटाइम हमारे लिए एक प्रमुख प्राथमिकता है.
Briefing the media virtually last evening, Secretary East External Affairs Ministry Reeva Ganguly Das said Prime Minister Modi welcomed ASEAN's initiatives to fight the COVID-19 pandemic and announced a contribution of $1 million to the COVID-19 ASEAN Response Fund. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has announced 12 key stimulus measures to boost the economy, saying it is emerging strong amid the COVID-19 pandemic as key parameters of the economy are on the positive trajectory. She said these stimulus measures announced under the Atmanirbhar Bharat 3.0 will provide a boost to employment, agriculture, infrastructure, manufacturing, housing and research and development of a COVID-19 vaccine in the country. At a press briefing in New Delhi yesterday, the minister said these announcements are in line with the earlier stimulus packages which were announced to deal with the impact of COVID-19 pandemic effectively. She said the size of the stimulus being provided by the government as part of the 12 announcements amounts to 2,65,000 crore rupees. She added that these Atmanirbhar Bharat stimulus measures cumulatively amount to 15% of the GDP.
The first announcement of PM Garib Kalyan package, 1,92,800. Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan 1.0, 11,02,650. PM Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, 82,911. Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan 2.0, 73,000. Atmanirbhar Abhiyan 3.0, 2,65,080. RBI measures which were announced as of 31st October, you have 12,71,000 something. Total of 15% of the GDP is what has been given here as stimulus till today.
Ms. Sitharaman further informed that more than 1,43,000 crore rupees have been sanctioned to the farmers through Kisan Credit Card. Announcing the 12 key stimulus measures, the Finance Minister said a new scheme, Atmanirbhar Bharat Rozgar Yojana, is being launched to incentivize creation of new employment opportunities during the COVID recovery phase. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that the Atmanirbhar Bharat package is a continuation of the government's effort to help all sections of the society. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said these initiatives will help in creating jobs, alleviate stressed sectors, ensure liquidity, boost manufacturing, energize real estate sector and support farmers.
Industry body FICCI has said that Finance Ministry has offered a huge Diwali bonanza that will lift growth, employment, exports and make India part of the global value chains. Commenting on the series of measures announced by the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman yesterday to further stimulate the economy, FICCI President Dr. Sangeeta Reddy said the package contained announcements for the stressed sectors, the sunrise sectors and other significant areas that will play a crucial role in making India strong and self-reliant. PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry has also appreciated the bold economic reforms announced by the Finance Minister under Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan 3.0. Skill Development Ministry has begun skill training of 3 lakh migrant workers from the identified 116 districts across 6 states. These states are Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Rajasthan, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh and Jharkhand. The initiative aims to empower migrant workers and rural population in the post-COVID era through demand-driven skilling and orientation under centrally sponsored and centrally managed component of Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana 2016-2020.
The government has said that 22,84,000 paddy farmers have benefited from the current Kharif marketing season procurement operations with MSP value of over 50,000 crore rupees. The Agriculture Ministry said over 268 lakh tons of paddy have been procured from Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Telangana, Uttarakhand, Tamil Nadu, Chandigarh, Jammu and Kashmir, Kerala, Gujarat and Andhra Pradesh. India Post Payments Bank or IPPB has successfully launched the initiative of doorstep service for submission of digital life certificate through Postman. The facility to submit life certificate online through Jeevan Pramaan portal was launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in November 2014 with the objective to provide a convenient and transparent facility to pensioners for submission of life certificate. In order to make this facility available across the country, the Department of Pension and Pensioners Welfare roped in the India Post Payments Bank to utilize its huge network of postmen and Grameen Dak Sevaks in providing doorstep facility to pensioners for submission of life certificate digitally. As a result, a huge number of pensioners across the country shall be able to avail doorstep service through postmen and Grameen Dak Sevak without visiting a bank branch or standing in a queue outside the bank branches. In order to avail this service, pensioners can get detailed information on IPPBonline.com.
The government has extended the last date for filing applications under Sabka Vishwas Legacy Dispute Resolution Scheme to 31st of December this year for Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Finance Ministry said this decision will come as a major relief to taxpayers of both the Union territories who faced genuine difficulties in availing the scheme during the original period of operation. In Chhattisgarh, government servants working on the basis of fake caste certificate will be terminated from the service. Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel has instructed to dismiss all government servants holding fake or false caste certificates immediately from service. A report.
According to the General Administration Department of Chhattisgarh Government, after formation of Chhattisgarh State in the year 2000, total of 758 cases of fake and false caste certificates were received by the High Level Certification Investigation Committee, out of which 267 cases of caste certificates have been found fake. Most of these cases are pending before the High Court. The state government will request the High Court for an early hearing in all such cases. Chief Minister has instructed to dismiss all government servants holding fake or false caste certificates except those who got a stay order from the court. In the meantime, all government servants whose caste certificates have been found false will be immediately removed from the important post. Vikalp Shukla, AIR News, Raipur.
The constituents of National Democratic Alliance NDA will meet in Patna today to discuss the formation of a new government in Bihar. Talking to reporters in Patna yesterday, Bihar Chief Minister and JDU President Nitish Kumar said people have given their mandate to the NDA and it will form the government in the state.
बिहार की जनता का निर्णय है, लोगों ने जो उनके हाथ में ताकत थी, जनता मालिक है और जनता का निर्णय हो गया, पुनः एनडीए को बहुमत प्राप्त हुआ है और एनडीए की सरकार बनेगी.
Mr. Nitish Kumar said leaders of all four NDA parties, JDU, BJP, Hindustani Awam Morcha and Vikashsheel Insan Party will meet to discuss the formation of a new government. He said every aspect of the formation of the government will be discussed at the meeting. Mr. Kumar said they have not yet finalized the date for oath taking and it will be decided later.
A convoy of West Bengal BJP President Dilip Ghosh and other party leaders was attacked in Jaigaon area of Alipurdwar district yesterday. The vehicle in which Kalchini MLA Wilson Champamari was travelling suffered damages in the attack. Mr. Ghosh's vehicle was also partially damaged. Dilip Ghosh told reporters that the TMC and their friends are getting desperate as they can sense defeat in the upcoming assembly polls. He said such tactics will not work as people are with us. State BJP President said that the incident goes on to show that law and order has completely collapsed in Bengal. You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to dedicate to the nation two Ayurveda institutes at Jamnagar and Jaipur today. Prime Minister says country is moving forward with the goal and resolve of self-reliant India. NDA constituents to meet in Patna today to discuss government formation in Bihar. More than 23 lakh Indians repatriated through different modes under Vande Bharat mission. India Post Payment Bank launches doorstep service to submit digital life certificate for pensioners. And Indian cricket team arrives in Sydney to play 3 T20s, 3 ODIs and 4 tests during their 2-month stay in Australia. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
News Services Division of All India Radio brings to you program Employment News in association with the Publications Division, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. An effective platform for information on job vacancies, training programs, admission notices, results and career advice with experts. Every day at 4:20 p.m. on FM Gold and other frequencies and on our YouTube channel AIR News Official.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back. A total of 23.41 lakh Indians have been repatriated through different modes of the Vande Bharat mission. Briefing media virtually last evening, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Anurag Srivastava said Phase 8 of Vande Bharat mission has been made operational since 1st of this month. In the first 10 days of operations under this phase, 80,000 nationals have been repatriated through 436 international flights from 22 countries. Replying to a query about Pakistan's Federal Investigative Agency releasing an updated book on most wanted high-profile terrorists, listing several Pakistani nationals involved in the 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks, the spokesperson said the list glaringly omits the mastermind and key conspirators of the heinous terror attack. He said it is a fact that the 26/11 terror attack was planned, executed and launched from Pakistan's territory. Mr. Srivastava said India has repeatedly called on Pakistan to give up its obfuscation and dilatory tactics in discharging its international obligations in the Mumbai terror attacks trial. He said several other countries have also called upon Pakistan to expeditiously bring the perpetrators of the dastardly terror attacks to justice. India has been consistently raising the issue of the safety, security and well-being of minority communities with the government of Pakistan. Mr. Srivastava said over a period of time, the space for people from the minority community to practice their religion has shrunk continuously and the condition remains deplorable. India has provided 50 metric tons of food aid to the people of Djibouti as part of its assistance to friendly countries to overcome natural calamities and the COVID-19 pandemic. Ambassador of India to Djibouti, Ashok Kumar, handed over a gift of food items to the Secretary General of the country's Ministry of Social Affairs and Solidarity, Madam Ifrah Ali Ahmed, as part of humanitarian assistance and disaster relief to Djibouti delivered by INS Airawat.
The country's COVID-19 recovery rate has improved to 92.89%. More than 52,000 COVID patients recovered during the last 24 hours. According to the Health Ministry, the total number of recoveries has gone up to over 80,66,000. Meanwhile, COVID-19 potential vaccine candidate Covishield has completed the enrollment of Phase 3 clinical trials. The Health Ministry has said that comprehensive and high testing is pivotal in the strategy to curb the chain of transmission of COVID-19. In a series of tweets, the ministry said from few tests in January this year, India has scaled a high of more than 12 crore tests in November. With daily capacity of 15 lakh tests, more than 11 lakh tests were done on an average every day in the past 6 weeks.
A total of 7,053 new confirmed cases of coronavirus infection were reported in Delhi during the last 24 hours, taking the total number of cases to over 4,67,000. The Delhi government said that over 4,16,000 people affected with coronavirus have been cured so far. Gujarat recorded 1,120 new cases during the last 24 hours. The recovery rate has improved to 91.29%. A total of 1,84,844 cases were recorded in the state till now. Out of these, 1,68,858 patients have recovered. 1,038 patients recovered during the last 24 hours. More from our correspondent.
Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation appealed to the citizens not to go for a free coronavirus test unnecessarily. In a press release, AMC said that only those in need should go for the coronavirus test. It is found that a lot of citizens are queuing up at AMC facilities for free coronavirus test only for curiosity. This causes problems for those who are actually in need of getting tested. AMC has also started using indelible ink in order to identify those who are already undergone coronavirus test. Meanwhile, AMC has clarified that as per the guidelines issued by ICMR, only antigen and RT-PCR tests are authorized to test COVID-19 infection. It also warned private doctors and physicians against the other types of tests to avoid RT-PCR tests. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
In Odisha, COVID-19 recovery has gone up to 2,93,741. A total of 1,264 patients recovered yesterday, as against 986 new infections. A report.
As many as 46.39% of the dwellers of the Millennium City of Cuttack have developed antibodies against the virus. This was disclosed by the Regional Medical Research Center in capital Bhubaneswar yesterday, while sharing the findings of the Sero survey undertaken by it in the city between the 2nd to the 5th of this month. A similar seroprevalence study by the Regional Medical Research Center in capital Bhubaneswar a few days ago had also come out with at least 50% of its residents having developed viral antibodies. Despite such encouraging findings, the state government has been discouraging people against any sort of human behavior like crowding that might cause the virus to strike back, particularly during the ongoing winter. Girish Chandra Das, Bhubaneswar.
In Karnataka, 2,116 new COVID-19 positive cases were reported in the last 24 hours. On the other hand, 3,368 people recovered from the disease and were discharged from various hospitals in the state. The Kempegowda International Airport in Bengaluru has set up 139 bio-waste bins of different sizes across the airport for disposing used personal protective equipment. The action is taken subsequent to incidents of PPEs found strewn across the airport campus, posing a health hazard to the passengers and staff. In Tamil Nadu, the active COVID-19 caseload dropped further to 18,395 yesterday. Meanwhile, the State Chief Minister Edapadi Palanisamy inducted 108 new ambulances into service. More from our correspondent.
The 108 new ambulances inducted into the service yesterday will be deployed under the scheme popularly known as the 108 ambulance service. With this, the total fleet under the scheme has gone up to 1,288. The State Health Minister Dr. C. Vijay Bhaskar said 200 more ambulances fitted with life-saving equipment will be added up to the fleet very soon. He claimed that the response time for an ambulance to reach the needed place in Chennai has been reduced to 8.01 minutes, which he said is comparable to the global standard. During the pandemic period, nearly 8 lakh patients throughout the state, including 2.93 lakh COVID-19 patients, have been shifted to various hospitals using the 108 ambulance service. Jay Singh, AIR News, Chennai.
In Uttar Pradesh, preparations are in full swing for the Deepotsav celebrations by the state government in Ayodhya today. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath will take part in the celebrations. Although state government is celebrating Deepotsav from the last 3 years, this year's Deepotsav will be the first since the verdict in Ram Janmabhoomi Ayodhya case and the beginning of the construction of Ram Janmabhoomi temple. More from our correspondent.
होंगे जगमग दीप असंख्य, लौटेंगे घर राम, स्वागत करने पहुंचेगा जगत अयोध्या धाम. Of course, the word will reach Ayodhya this time but during Corona times, it will happen virtually also. Every nook and corner of the holy city Ayodhya is decorated on the theme of Ramayana, and the spectacular event of lighting a record 5,51,000 earthen lamps on the banks of holy Saryu River will make this Diwali unforgettable. First time the lamps will be lit at Sri Ram Janmabhoomi also. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath will light the lamps there, and state government has made the arrangement for every Ram Bhakt's participation in this event. Chief Minister will perform Aarti at the Ram Janmabhoomi premises, where 11 jhankis or tableaux of the incidents in the life of Lord Sri Ram along with Darbar of Ram Lala will also be depicted. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is also expected to light a lamp in the Deepotsav virtually. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
In our series on Safe Diwali, today we will talk about Green Diwali. We have to promote eco-friendly Diwali instead of pollution-friendly Diwali. Say no to crackers. The people should promote eco-friendly practices like diya and candle lighting. People are advised to use natural colors for Rangoli decoration instead of chemical colors. Light your house naturally and do not use electric lights. The people should also spread awareness about the noise and air pollution due to the bursting of firecrackers.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has congratulated Aung San Suu Kyi and her party, National League for Democracy, for victory in elections in Myanmar. In a tweet, Prime Minister said he looks forward to continuing to work with her to strengthen traditional bonds of friendship between the two countries. The Indian cricket team has reached Australia to start their preparations for a much-anticipated series between the two nations. India will play 3 T20s, 3 ODIs and 4 tests in their 2-month stay in Australia. Even though the first T20 will be played on 27th of November, the Indian squad led by skipper Virat Kohli reached early as they will now begin a 14-day quarantine cum training period on the outskirts of Sydney.
And now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital Delhi will have moderate fog in the morning and mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature was 14 degrees Celsius and maximum will be around 28 degrees Celsius. In Mumbai, sky will be clear. The minimum temperature in the metropolis was 22 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 34 degrees. Chennai will have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The temperature will hover between 25 and 29 degrees Celsius. Kolkata is expected to have mainly clear sky with temperature varying between 21 and 32 degrees Celsius. On to the north in Srinagar, there will be generally cloudy sky. The minimum temperature was 2 degrees Celsius while maximum will be around 15 degrees. In Jammu, lower level of temperature was 12 degrees Celsius while upper level will be around 27 degrees with mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Gilgit will also have partly cloudy sky becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening or night with temperature hovering between 2 and 18 degrees Celsius. In Muzaffarabad, generally cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm, and the temperature will hover between 8 and 20 degrees Celsius.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Hindustan Times highlights Atmanirbhar Bharat Package 3.0 as bringing relief for homeowners and giving a push to hiring. Dhanteras gift for housing stressed sectors, headlines the Hindu Business Line. Government rolls out 1.19 lakh crore rupees package, writes the Hindu. At 104, Delhi reports highest single-day deaths from COVID, writes the Times of India. HC lists stay 80% ICU beds in 33 Delhi hospitals for COVID is the headline in the Indian Express. Hindustan Times quotes Serum Institute of India's claim that it has already made 40 million shots of AstraZeneca vaccine. The Business Standard reports that the institute will have 200 million doses by January. The Times of India reports that over the past 7 years, the government has weeded out 4.4 crore ration cards, a third of these being in Uttar Pradesh. And finally, Russia has backed India's assertion that Pakistan shouldn't raise bilateral matters at SCO summit, writes Hindustan Times.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to dedicate to the nation 2 Ayurveda institutes at Jamnagar and Jaipur today. Prime Minister says country is moving forward with the goal and resolve of self-reliant India. NDA constituents to meet in Patna today to discuss government formation in Bihar. More than 23 lakh Indians repatriated through different modes under Vande Bharat mission. India Post Payment Bank launches doorstep service to submit digital life certificate for pensioners. And Indian cricket team arrives in Sydney to play 3 T20s, 3 ODIs and 4 tests during their 2-month stay in Australia. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.